Hello and welcome back to the Three Hamster Boys podcast. It has been a while.
It's been a few months.
It has been a hot minute since we've been recording.
The return.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been in the
Season 2.
Yeah, since we've been in the room together.
We weren't sure we were going to get a second season.
Yeah. But the year has passed.
Yeah.
And we are here again.
Yeah. New year, same us, but maybe some new content that we're that we're coming up here. But wow, I guess
Your name is Alexander.
Oh
my name is Alexander.
Oh my gosh.
This is our father Jeff, and this is my brother Jeff's son Nick.
Wow.
It's like we forgot who we were.
Yeah.
It's like
are
you
you?
forgot who we were. So the theme for today is a great return or a redemption here as we kick off season 2. So kind of similar to our season 1 content, we're doing 3 characters that we found in media that have been redeemed. And I think we'll talk a little bit more about what that means, because I don't know about you, but Nick and I definitely had a lot of conversations about what did it even mean for
Like, what's a viable definition?
who fits, who doesn't.
How long was it?
And did they have to be pure evil, then become good?
Yeah,
Or
like
anything
what was
that
the extent of the shift?
Yeah, but I think we can get into that. You mentioned you want to talk some things at the top of the hour here.
Well, no, for this one, let's just go to the beer. We'll do it the second time.
All right.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Sure. All right. So today we're drinking out of Ale Works.
It's a brewery in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So we got it while we were down in Williamsburg near Christmas last year. And the brewery's been there for 16 years. So what do we got, Nick?
That's incredible. We are drinking it's titled a Rosé Weekend Lager, but it's a Helles. So it should be very light. I'm expecting some sort of fruity aftertaste, or maybe some odd dryness.
Maybe some tannin.
I don't know, but wow. Yeah. Pick up your glasses, gentlemen.
Yes.
Here we are once again.
Cheers. And what I will say is this is not the first time we're drinking Ale Works. Last year, we had their strawberry shortcake, their milk stout. That was unique to say the least. But I will say we got a pack of that, and I was drinking most of that, I think, after the episode. And it just kind of grew on me the more I drank it. So I'm hoping this will also have a similar effect.
I think it's good.
It's
nice. I think it's very clean.
It is. It's not as harsh as a Helles can be.
No.
But it's got this really unique, smooth kind of taste on top of it.
Yeah. It's very light, refreshing. This is very easy to drink.
This would be a dinner ale where you could have it with pretty much any meal.
I would agree. Honestly, you could treat it like a white wine almost. Mm-hmm. It's very light. It doesn't linger too long. It's nice. Lovely.
It is strange. I won't lie. This is
we get that fruitiness at the end.
Yeah. You're right. I don't really know where to put this on the scale of things, because it is kind of in that weird spot where they did a good job of it has like wine-like qualities and also like Helles-like qualities. It's weird. I think my brain just doesn't know how to categorize this.
And that's perfect for what we like to taste.
I agree. Very good though.
I do like it.
It's tasty.
I think it's better than the strawberry shortcake.
Put them side by side. Who knows what I'll be saying?
What I really would like to put side by side is their regular weekend lager and this rosé.
Yeah,
to see how it compares.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Unique for sure. But Dad, do you want to kick us off here with our first character?
I guess I will. So, I do not have as diverse background in media because anime provides so much content that you can use. So, I'm really kind of in the movie genre.
Well, I think that's fine.
Yeah, but
Just for all of our other listeners out there, there are a lot of movies as well
Yeah.
in the world.
and so my first one is going to be because I was greatly impacted by the whole Avengers series is going to be Nebula, Thanos' daughter.
Yeah.
From the MCU specifically.
From the MCU specifically, because I just think that she played a bad guy throughout the whole thing, and then she evolved into really a good character at the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was extremely clear. It was like stone cold killer, following these orders to the very end, no matter what, willing to die for it.
And willing to hurt Gamora, if she had to.
Well, yeah, her role essentially was to be a foil for Gamora, and like this is what she could have been if she wasn't Thanos' favorite, if she strayed from.
That's what I think. She was always striving to be Thanos' favorite, but she never could be.
Right, because that's Gamora.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those characters that's evil because of the situation, but she actually end up being not evil.
But a tortured character.
Yes.
Yeah. Conflicted. I think while we, sort of take apart a little bit of the characters piece by piece, when we're talking about these redeemed and like more of how we came to the conclusion of our characters.
Yeah.
I think Nebula is a really good start where the change is clear.
Yeah.
And like, if they were in the same room together, these, before and after, they would be at clear odds. Like there is a definite change of values.
Yeah, I mean, like when she goes back in time,
Yeah.
where she's against herself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just shows the actual change in character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen that movie.
It's almost been 10 years now.
Yeah, whatever you said. But just like basing it off of, that's the sort of foundation that we started to when we first worked on this idea of like a redeemed character, and I think Nebula is a really good example to start this off.
Yeah, I thought it was like the base. This is so cut and dry.
Cut and dry.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. What is your first character here?
My first character is going to be Parthenax from the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. For a little bit of context, Parthenax is a dragon, this really old dragon that you, the main character, meets in this, wintry Arctic continent. Parthenax is this leader and sort of consultant of these people called the Greybeards. And they all are monks who have learned the dragon tongue from Parthenax. And it's because the dragon tongue has power in it that these voices and words have like potential to harm. Parthenax was not a good individual. You first meet him after he's changed. So you as the player don't witness this redemption, but you hear about it through such a scale, and you see the ripples of his actions throughout the entire game. Parthenax was the right-hand lieutenant to this other dragon named Alduin, who was this dragon god of time, who descended from this godhood and started to besiege the continent and enslave as many races as they could. And dragons were this tyrannical force of power. Eventually, some other gods stepped in, and a lot of forces were moved around. And part of that was this rebellion and break off, and individuals like Parthenax were a part of that. So that was his moment of it. You don't see it, but you hear about it. But you do know that Parthenax was the right-hand man to this evil dragon god, and he absolutely practiced in all of this really awful tyranny through the continent. But when you meet him, he's a really old dragon. He's an immortal being, but he's really, really old.
He's really old.
And he just sort of talks like really slow, and he's just like got a nice candor for the most part. And when we talked about redemption, he strikes me immediately because he has this sentence that like truly encapsulates the feeling of what we're trying to do in this episode. And he says, what is better, to be born good or to overcome evil with great effort? Mm-hmm. And that's sort of his view at this point. He super acknowledges that he did some absolutely awful things. However, he's spent all these times, he trained these Greybeards, the power of the Thuum, the dragon voice, to combat Alduin and all of this stuff. He was like the one who began this like rebellion and giving power back to all of these other races on the continent. And I think it's extremely powerful where the ripples that we're talking about, there is a group of people that you work with called the Blades. And they are this ancient order that serve and protect whatever like is the most valuable like prime of like civilization. Like they usually protects like royalty or other people who are selected to be Dovahkiin, the Dragonborn. And they do all of this like very large scale stuff. And while you're working with them, they tell you that no matter how good Parthenax has been, no matter how much effort he has done, it has not cleansed him of his sins. And you, the player, have to kill Parthenax.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
He's reliving Skyrim with us all right
Oh
now.
my gosh.
So this dragon that you meet, very funny old dragon, he teaches you the voice, he teaches you the Thuum, and does all of this stuff. And he gives you a lot of like information about the world as it should be. Because I think he's lived for like 3 millennia or something, probably longer. But he's a very, powerful character in terms of like just the weight and the words of this guy, and the fact that you have this weird sense of like you're being told by like a human who's probably in their like 30s or 40s, being like, you gotta kill this dragon because like the actions are not redeemable.
Yeah. And I think that's probably in order for you to accept that's redemption, you have to believe that they have actually been redeemed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you believe the dragon was redeemed?
I think so.
But you still killed him.
It is the issue where you kind of have to. If you say, no, I don't want to kill Parthenax, they will say, then you can no longer continue the main story.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Blades will say, we will no longer work with you then. You're not welcome here.
That's horrible.
Well, it is one of like the main kind of like focal points of the main story. And so while Skyrim is like this like game where there's so many choices and options, they don't shy away from the fact that some of your choices will just like end some storylines.
Yeah. But it's truly powerful. I love Parthenax. Parthenax is he's a really cool guy, and I think that one sentence of him, from
oh my
him,
gosh,
I think really encapsulates what we're looking for.
I mean, I think put that sentence next to the Blades being like, no matter what, he can't be absolved. Really, kind of hits hard.
Yeah.
Oh, good one. I like that one. And older than 10 years ago, Skyrim.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. Which Skyrim? It just got released on the Switch,
Wait,
too.
it just came out again, yeah. That there's a side tangent there, but Wizard 101's getting released on the Switch, which is crazy
Is
to
it?
think about.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
Yeah.
We started playing that 17 years ago.
Even longer.
Even longer
Even
ago.
longer than Skyrim.
Take it back even further. All right. Great kind of starting characters. I think I will also go with a very quintessential kind of redemption character here. And that, of course, is from one of our favorite shows to talk about all the time. That's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
We'll never miss it.
We'll never miss it. We're talking about Zuko. Yes, that's right. Heir to the firebending throne, or was heir to the firebending throne. Spends his life trying to track down the Avatar, capture him, bring him back to his father to redeem himself, to reclaim his honor.
So similar to Nebula.
In a way, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
There is, the
Gotta please my dad.
sibling
Yeah.
inferiority.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Azula's so much better. She gets it. But yeah, also like trying to claim something that in the end is impossible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even when it is reclaimed, which you could make an argument that it's not really, Zuko's not happy with all of the effort that he put in for his father, for the Fire Nation, realizes that all the bad stuff he's been doing, that his uncle's been right the whole time.
Yeah.
And then decides, I'm going to do something about this. And I think the show gives itself enough time where you see that growth from being, at the very beginning of the show, headstrong, arrogant, will do anything to get what he wants and capture the Avatar. It doesn't matter what he's throwing at it. And then we see it at the beginning of his redemption here, where he comes to the Avatar, humbled and head down, hands out, please, I will teach you firebending. Please just let me help. And I love seeing those juxtapositions.
So for me, the Avatar is a couple of redemption stories, because I think that the uncle also is a redemption story. Because
yes, in a way, yeah.
Because he was it the slaughterer or the killer? His title was the killer of all these people, because he was the one that put his brother into power.
Right. He was a great general. He fought in, was it Ba Sing Se?
Yeah, he failed to invade, or he failed a successful attack. Or, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was not able to complete the siege on Ba Sing Se.
But he was a mass murderer. He was just terrible. And you see him as kind of like with the dragon, the after.
Iroh and Parthenax are very similar
they
vibes.
are also very similar.
So
You're right. There is a lot of redemption stories and a lot of smaller redemption stories. You could even talk about Sokka being a redemption story, and the fact that he also has a humbling moment where he needs to be taught a lesson and immediately apologizes and makes up for those mistakes.
I think that's what makes the story so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
it makes all the characters feel so much more dimensional, right?
Yeah.
They
Right.
feel so much realer. There isn't, if someone was like, I got to do this, and that's all they do, you're like, yep, I got it.
Yeah.
But it's so much more exciting, interesting, compelling to see someone being like, I got to do this.
Or the sister just being crazy.
Sure. But Azula is already a complex character.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, returning to Zuko,
Yeah.
to fully complete your thought as we're, dissecting all of, the Avatar.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we could talk about and we do talk about all the Avatar cast almost every time.
Yeah.
It's a great show. We probably could talk about Korra more on the more here, but we don't have to. But yeah, no, I think Zuko has this redemption arc where he begins his redemption fully humbled, and then the show gives itself enough time to follow through with this with this arc of going from really the main bad guy in the show for at least book 1, right? Where like Ozai is just an amorphous kind of figure in the background.
Yeah.
Into becoming a member of the team, a member of the party, and kind of making up for those past mistakes that he's made. I think the show also does a good thing in the fact that while Zuko is typically the bad guy, he never goes too far that he becomes irredeemable.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Where there are other characters like oh my god, I cannot remember. Zhao, yes. Oh my god, you knew exactly.
I knew it.
Yeah, where you have characters like Zhao, where you're like, he just killed the moon.
That guy killed the moon. That guy killed the moon.
Yeah.
Like he is merciless in those, and he is greedy. And I think maybe they could have made a redemption arc for Zhao, but mostly not because of his actions. They don't show remorse. They don't show any sort of way. In Zuko's case, right? Even when he is the bad guy, even when he is still focused on capturing the Avatar, there are moments where he saves him, even in the beginning.
Yep.
There are moments when the blue spirit comes out, the second persona that he creates, mainly for his own kind of like interests here.
Yeah, maybe being like, I don't want to get recognized as the prince.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want him to take him in.
No,
I need
exactly.
to take him in.
Like, Zhao can't do it. But still, there are moments where there's that hesitation where Zuko could have done more, could have captured the Avatar, could have hurt the Avatar more, and doesn't. And his friends as well.
Yeah.
And so I think the show does a good job of like keeping you walking with Zuko on this balance beam, and even though he falls off at times, you're there. Uncle Iroh's there to kind of help him move on his way, and then it feels so satisfying when he does finally kind of give in, and he's like, okay, I'll go help the good guys. I'll be a part of the team. I think there's something really satisfying about that sort of redemption arc story where you're like, he's so close, he could do it, and he does it, and you're like, you feel vindicated at the end of the day.
I think especially they truly capitalized on the length and the amount of time you spend watching Avatar, right? All 3 seasons.
Yep.
You're watching like episodes that you're like, this means nothing, but you're like, all right, I gotta watch, because like I think it's almost Power Rangers or like classic like cartoons or shows where they're like, oh, we're checking in on the villains right now, and it just makes it so much more easy to like them, right? Because there's like, oh, Iroh got captured by some earthbenders. Well, now we gotta go to find June and have his sandal licked by a weird weasel thing. And we're gonna go on a hunt, right? Like it's this very odd thing. You're like, why are we following this? Like, aren't they the bad guys? Why do we care so much if this old guy really gets captured? Isn't that a but you like Iroh. I think they made Iroh so compelling that you're like, okay, if Iroh likes Zuko, then you're kind of giving him a chance, internally.
I think when creating characters, there is that fine line of balance where there are some characters, like sometimes you want a bad guy that's so like easy to hate, that's so terrible. But I don't think that's sustainable for a long running show, because you only have like so much like negative energy you could give towards a bad guy.
Yeah.
If you have characters that are complex and 3-dimensional, even if they're the bad guys, it gives you a second to be like, well, wait a second.
Yeah.
I think this isn't necessarily a great example, but in Akame ga Kill, the other kind of party, the bad guys,
The Jaegers,
yes.
Jaegers, not Jaegers is Attack on Titan. Yeah, Jaegers.
Yeah, they the show goes through lengths to humanize them at least a little bit.
Yeah.
In the fact that you're like, oh, do I actually feel bad if they die?
I like this like Village Wade guy.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Or the guy without a shirt who has like a daughter and a wife. And
Yeah,
you're like, why are you?
Why are you showing me this? But again, in an effort to make three-dimensional characters, they can't just be like hate, malice, because at the end of the day, you're like, cool.
Well, I think that the length of time to build the character, I think, is important also.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
Because,
yes.
like, if you look at the MCU, it took Nebula how many different,
yeah.
think about how many movies she was in back and forth and the whole storyline. You talk about Avatar being 3 seasons and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I just think that the redemption arc is much more believable if it takes time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where-
Gotta let it cook.
Yeah, like yours is, it already happened.
Yes.
So you can say, okay, it took a long time, but we're at the end of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I think is also an interesting way of looking at it, because as the player and as your character, you're coming into this not knowing anything. You hear this kind of like soft-spoken, you talk to this soft-spoken old dragon, and that's like your kind of like your perspective of it. But in the same way, you have people who are like, the history says this, and therefore, because of these things in the past, this
can't be redeemed.
Yeah, this guy
Yeah.
who seems nice can't be redeemed.
It's very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, what a good start.
That
I
was a
like
good
these
start.
characters.
Momentum. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the
yeah.
energy.
We're back in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Our glasses are empty.
Our
glasses
glasses
are
are empty. We're gonna go fill them up. We'll get the next drink going. We'll see y'all in a second here. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.
And we're back for section 2 of the video. We've got a new drink in front of us. Nick, what are we drinking next?
This is mango guava
Blonde ale.
blonde ale. For effect. It's
the pause for effect.
It's a blonde ale, mango guava. They have sours. They do sours. I feel like this would just be a sour, but they've chosen to make it a blonde ale. I don't know. I feel like it's just gonna be like light, refreshing, fruity.
Yeah,
fruity.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
curious.
Well,
Tink.
Cheers.
tink, tink, tink. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the way that we started out the redemption here, but I think I think there were a couple of characters that we were cycling through that we thought might have had a redemption arc that didn't quite, and Boromir was one of the characters that we were going back and forth. Nick and I were having a discussion about it in terms of whether or not we thought that Boromir truly was redeemed or truly needed to be redeemed at the end.
Or was even that evil, quote unquote,
Right.
to begin with, right? Like Boromir started. You're like, it's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like he was evil. He showed up to the gathering being like, all right, we gotta stop. We gotta
Yeah.
save like
Yeah.
the forces of light.
Yep.
But then also like a lot of his journey is just he's just tempted by like the most powerful artifact on the planet.
He's just a guy.
It is this like very strange thing where you're just like, man, he got corrupted. What happened to everyone else? And you're like, most of the crew makes sense why they weren't tempted. The hobbits are the true exception, but like you have Aragorn, who is the true son of man, a Dunedain, and a ring bearer himself. Right? Like that's messed up to compare him. You have Legolas, someone who's been around for hundreds of years
Yeah.
and has seen and witnessed so many other rings like pass through hands. You have Gimli, who's like been through all of like the Moria and is a descendant of the Misty Mountains.
I want to say Thorfinn, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's right.
Gloin. Whatever. But,
Just put some vowels together.
and then,
Tolkien.
but then and then Gandalf. Like
Yeah.
like
Well, not that, but Boromir was brought up to say, you are destined to be the one.
that is.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the
yeah.
other tough thing. I think he got he got a bad hand dealt to him
Yeah.
as well, because he's like, oh yeah, my dad's the current king of oh my god, Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith. He's like
I almost said Gondor, but gosh, there's so many
it's
names
like
in this.
the true lineage of man has been gone. You know, like we're chilling. I'm a prince. You know, it's good stuff, and then all things are bad happening. It's like, oh, all the forces of darkness are starting to move at once. Okay, I'm gonna go to this, peace meeting to figure out how we can solve this. Oh my God, the true son of the true king is here, and he's dressed up like
A ranger.
a ranger. And now a hobbit is telling me that I cannot bear the ring while he looks at it. Like he got a bad hand, but I don't think it's justified of a change from that, spiteful moment to I'm being corrupted the entire time to I got clarity, it's go time. I don't know if that's enough.
So
this is odd.
Yeah.
it is sweet, very little carbonation. Doesn't have a real strong beer taste to it. You get the hops near the end.
I'm about to say, you really get the hops. It kind of
Yeah.
reminds
At the
me.
end,
It's
yeah.
like a weaker IPA, which means it's better than any IPA.
Not my favorite.
I was going to say, anything that resembles an IPA, I can tell you this panel is not a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. I think IPAs are the things we've done the least, and it's sort of the awareness that if we review an IPA, we're gonna have a pretty subtle reaction to most of it.
I am disappointed that it's not fruitier.
I was about to say, I don't think I'm really getting the mango or guava part of this.
No,
You get it initially. You get an initial hit, and that's it.
I get a tinge
little
of mango,
bit,
yeah.
no guava.
Yeah.
I could not tell you where the guava is.
Where'd they put the
Where's
guava?
the guava? Did they make the guava watch? Like, what are we talking about?
All right. So one thing before we go to the characters.
Yes.
We were talking about things we did last year, how we're doing this next year.
There's like wicked sentiment.
Yeah, the wicked sentiment. Anyways,
Yes,
so
Statman.
so
Tell us about
so
the
Statman.
stats.
So top 3 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And now that I don't have my glasses, you're gonna have to read.
From us? You think I can read this handwriting?
Okay. Okay.
Oh. Well, okay.
He should have typed it out.
Yeah.
I won't even lie.
Yeah, I can't read that.
Okay. All right.
That's
So
absurd.
episode 19, Patchwork, where we reviewed 3 movies that we made for each other.
Yes.
Is that number 1 or number 3?
That's number 1 for YouTube,
Okay.
Okay.
but it is number 3 for audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think that one was a fun concept in general. Like that
Yeah.
was just fun.
And it was definitely a deviation from what we did as well.
Yeah.
So something a little fresher.
number 2 for YouTube was episode 1, Bourbon and Heroes,
Nice. I mean, that makes sense. The first episode.
which
people
was
are
strange because that's the one where we didn't have any video.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, it's a podcast.
Okay.
First episode.
And number 3 for YouTube was episode 13, Tequila Duos, where we talked about duos and we tried the
Was
ghost
that
pepper.
the ghost pepper tequila?
Yeah.
Yeah, people just want to hear about tequila.
Honestly, I really like those.
Yeah.
That was good.
What's funny about that one is that one was in last place for the audio.
Okay. That's the least listened to episode ever in audio.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
All right.
All right, so number 1 for the audio was episode 3, Gin and Mentors.
Okay.
I like that gin episode. We got a little bit black.
That I will say that might be that's like top 3 that we got most drunk at as well.
Yup.
Episode number 2 was episode 21, which is Beer Check. We tried the Bold Mariner beer and we talked about where we were, what we were listening to, what we were doing.
Oh, yeah.
That's an interesting one.
So anyways, all right, so that's the thing. So all right.
Wow.
All right, who goes first this time?
We're kicking it off to Nick to start us off here for redeemed characters.
Hello. Anime is sort of going to be my next 2. Starting off with one that has not a big following, and the fans are currently like, meh, it's weird. I have a lot of feelings about this show. For the most part, it's pretty good. There's some just fundamentals that are like very egregious, but
Yep.
it is a show called Fairy Tale. And the character I will be talking about is Gajiel Gray Fox. I believe is his last name.
I was about to say, I don't remember what his last name is at all.
I think it's Gray Fox. Gajiel Gray Fox. Setting the scene for anyone who's not aware of Fairy Tale, picture a very magical and whimsical world where all the major cities have a it's almost like Pokemon team.
No, it really is.
Pokemon team guild in it. It's like the show is called Fairy Tale because the guild you follow is Fairy Tale, but you have like Lamia Scale, and like all these other ones. I couldn't rattle off anymore unless you got.
No, I don't have any more.
Lamia Scale is just the only. I think there's a Pegasus one.
Yeah.
Either way, mythical creature. Something else, right? It's the naming scheme.
That's the scheme.
It's like very typical D&D. Like, oh, what's your tavern name?
Yes.
It's the Weeping Dragon.
Yeah.
It's verb noun, and you're good.
That is probably why it makes it so good, because sometimes the writing literally is just like, oh, it feels like someone just put together the episode like, oh, I don't have this in my notes. Let's this is what's gonna happen today.
And it might be a translation thing.
Yeah.
It might be just a writing thing. I don't know. Either way, you follow this guild called Fairy Tale. And all the world is all magic. Basically everyone has some sort of magic to them. It could be very specific. It could be wide range. It could be elemental. It could be whatever. Everyone's got like some amount of magic to them. And throughout the series, there's enemy mages and evil mages and like dark guilds and stuff like that. And eventually, the protagonist team runs into what is presumed to be like a pretty good guild, is sort of moving into being a dark guild, causing up ruckus and just causing calamity throughout, and attacking other more friendly guilds. So they're becoming this antagonistic force. And obviously they're a guild, so they have a huge range of wacky, interesting characters for the most part. And one of which is this character, Gajiel. Gajiel starts out, you truly are not meant to like him whatsoever. And he is supposed to almost be an antithesis to one of the main characters. The main character that I referred to, his name is Natsu. He is a fire dragon slayer. That's his magic. It's a magic invented to defeat dragons. And an aspect to that is whatever element they are, they eat it for power. To counteract the sort of elemental nature of a dragon. So if a dragon breathes fire, he can eat that fire and become stronger.
Wow.
And
sort of the Bane.
It is very much like the classic anime style where he's like,
yeah,
and like gets all like big and round after eating fire, what sort of like whimsy image is in your head? That's probably exactly what it is.
So this character, Gajiel, is I actually don't remember what specifically he is. He's a metal dragon slayer, metal dragon slayer, or iron dragon slayer.
It's like that, or like steel or something.
Steel dragon slayer. He eats iron or metal to get stronger.
Yeah. So like there is like literally an episode where he's like eating like nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, I gotta recharge, and he's like chewing on a railroad or something like that.
Like a track.
Yeah. So he's set up to be this antithesis, right? We hadn't run in. I think he's the first other dragon slayer that we also ran into.
Yeah, because Natsu's looking for other ones.
Yeah.
And like we'll run into like a faker earlier in the show, but I don't think we ever see another dragon slayer.
So faker, like he throws a broom to make it seem like he's riding a broom.
Yeah. True. There's a Mashal in that world somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, more lore anyway. Gajiel is made to be this absolutely despicable character, though. The most heinous one to really make you angry, and the one that truly kicks off this war against these guilds, is that Gajiel kidnaps 3 of the main guild members that you are seeing throughout, 40 or 50 episodes, and practically crucifies them against a tree with the metal.
Ooh.
And draws their guild insignia all over them.
Yeah, it's in like such a show that has so much whimsy. It is a very jarring scene. They're not dead. I just want to clarify.
They're not
this.
dead.
They are injured, and I think it adds to make matters worse. They're some of the people that are just kind of friendly and not really the big combatants of the guild.
They're because the guild,
They're the accountants.
they're almost. They're usually the guild serves so many purposes. It's not just we got to use magic to fight people. They're the usually ones that's couriers or entertainment or more crowd pleasing PR stuff. They're
literally PR stuff. Yeah,
that's what they do, and that happening to them is just they would never even be in the fight.
Yeah.
It gets your blood boiling for that. You're
And that's why he picked them. They were easy.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. So
Which makes it more despicable.
Exactly. Truly an awful person. Eventually, through a lot of fighting, good guys win, and all that great stuff. And Gajiel sort of disappears for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then eventually returns, invited by the Fairy Tale Guildmaster to be at Fairy Tale to find a place.
His old guild is kind of torn asunder. He disappears into the wind, and then comes back.
And there's a lot of unease with everyone, which is super to be expected.
Because they're afraid to be crucified.
Yeah. But they're through great effort on his part.
Oh,
Sorry. Through great effort, he not only directly apologizes and truly tries to be the nicest person to the 3 that he did that thing to. He also is a very prominent person in the guild to serve Fairy Tale eventually. And when some of the really top dogs of the guild appear and hear what Gajiel did, Gajiel was do whatever you want to me to make up for what I did. And there's this really gut-wrenching scene where he's just almost on the verge of death. And eventually one of the 3 people that he did that to steps in and says that's enough. And there's a sort of trust that's earned. And then nowadays he's just one of the main party. He's just he's just a kooky guy now.
So what happened when he was gone? Do you ever hear what happened?
Presumably, based on his character, he tried to be a roaming minstrel.
Wait, yeah, that's right. It turns out he also sings jazz.
Yeah.
Just as a fun fact.
But he is such a good redeemed character because, initial remembrance, you're God, that was just a truly deplorable, awful person. And when you're current where it is or around that time, you're he's part of the guild. He's one of the main.
He's one of the guys.
Yeah. Gajiel's great.
Yeah, I do think it is funny too because I don't think it's a prerequisite for the Dragon Slayer magic, but he is built up as this really evil guy, and then you just realize he's as stupid as Natsu.
Yeah.
They're just
idiocy
idiots.
is just runs in the family.
And it makes it so much more fun to see that that wall, that curtain fall, and him transition from this super deplorable guy to he's just one of the guys and he can sing.
Sing jazz.
Yeah.
All right, Alexander.
Yeah, I'm sensing the through great effort here. So for my second one here, I wanted to talk about She-Ra because I feel there's a lot of great characters in She-Ra, the animated Netflix show. And I was originally wanting to talk about Catra as the character that is redeemed, but I kept coming back to being the fact, like, I don't think Catra ever was the bad guy.
No.
Like, I always keep coming back to the fact that maybe Catra didn't necessarily need to be redeemed because deep down she knew that working for Hordak or working for Shadow Weaver and doing what they were saying was the wrong thing. And at the end of the day, she just wanted to be loved, which might come back to Nebula in a very similar way.
Yeah.
So instead, I thought a more interesting character to talk about would be Shadow Weaver.
Her boss.
Her boss, yes. So the big bad in She-Ra is this guy named Hordak, but his kind of like right-hand person is Shadow Weaver, and she's in charge of training all of the cadets in order to stamp out the resistance and kind of suck up the magic from the world that they're in. And the kind of show starts with her two star pupils, which is Adora and Catra. And it is made very quickly in the show that Adora is like the favorite of Shadow Weaver, and nothing that Catra does or can do will will get Shadow Weaver's respect or adoration. And very quickly Adora breaks off, joins the resistance. Catra is left behind and stays with Shadow Weaver. Shadow Weaver, not a good person, very manipulative, very selfish, very power hungry, and like kind of tortures Catra. Not a great person at all. And again, we go back to a show that has a lot of runtime here. 5 seasons, I think. So,
dude, that's crazy.
There is a lot of time, and it's not until the later portion where Hordak really becomes an actual figure. Again, we talk about similar to Avatar: The Last Airbender. You think that like Shadow Weaver is the big bad or Catra is the big bad, but in reality, of course, we know that there's some sort of amorphous bigger guy in the background, and near the end there, we see cracks in Shadow Weaver's kind of like evil persona where she is. There are moments where she really does show kind of like a maternal care for Catra and Adora. And even near the end, she like sacrifices herself to protect them, to keep them safe.
But is she redeemed?
I would think so, because she has a moment where she is fighting against her nature. She tries to teach one of the other characters more about magic. That kind of goes awry a little bit, where she's kind of sinking back into her own like nature of being selfish and power hungry. And then at the end, she kind of fully gives over and
this is a spoiler, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a spoiler for sure. Where she, asks for forgiveness. She tells Catra that she's always been proud of her, and then she gives herself up. So I think perhaps not as much, and this might be kind of a comparison to Boromir, but I think Shadow Weaver does show great effort in the fact to try to
short time, great effort.
try to redeem herself at least a little bit here, where she is fighting against her nature, fighting against what Hordak wants from her. While still trying to keep protect
this
the
aligns
youngers.
with my third.
Oh yeah.
But we're running low on time
Yep.
here. I really wanted to just mention Shadow Weaver real quick. All right, Dad. What's your third?
So my second one is
Or second? Gosh.
my second one is really if you ever seen Pulp Fiction, there is a scene in there where John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson are going to kill somebody. Mm-hmm. And when they kill him, a guy pops around the corner and empties a gun, and they don't get killed. They don't get shot, nothing. And then they shoot the guy. And then afterwards, Samuel L. Jackson goes, "We should be dead. Mm-hmm. I can't do this anymore."
Yeah.
I remember. Yep.
He said, "This can't. We should be dead. I need to change what I do. I'm going to do this, and then I'm done." And John Travolta's like, "What are you, crazy?" He said, "I'm done." So I think that from my standpoint, this is. It didn't take time to do this transition.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of the odd times when this is it.
It's a life-changing event.
Yeah.
Yes.
That event is, falling out of a plane and surviving or whatever it is. He said, "I've been a bad person. I know I've been a bad person."
Yep.
And he's been saying verses out of the Bible too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he hasn't realized what he was saying.
Right. He hasn't been like following through with that.
So I thought it was a very unique instance where it didn't take time. It was just instantaneous.
I think that's the one that like is one that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
It's the like extremely sporadic, right?
Yeah.
Like the ones that we've already discussed, it's like, oh, you see the seeds of doubt. You see the change, right? Like that part is like very engaging and like you see the complexity of the character. But for a movie and you're like, we got to make the switch.
You got 2 hours.
Right? Like
unless you have 10 episodes.
I was about to say, Quentin Tarantino is really trying to push the envelope on 2 hours sometimes.
But it's that part is also very compelling where you see this like, stone cold person and there is that switch, right? Yeah. You're like, oh, they just flipped it, right? You're like, that's also like extremely interesting to see.
Because the rest of the story with him is still not pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. He still is not a good person. He just is less violent.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Yeah,
I guess
that goes to the discussion. It's like you're a bad person, but like what? At what point are you crossed to the good person category?
Yeah.
Right?
At what point are you redeemed?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one person that we talked about that we isn't on either one of our lists is Scrooge.
Yeah, right? Scrooge.
That's an overnight change.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but it feels like forever.
A heck of a night. But yeah, it was one night.
It was one night, and all of a sudden, everything changed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways.
Yeah. Well, our glasses are empty. Let's fill them up.
Even though it was bad, we still finished it.
I mean, it's easy to drink.
Yeah, we're doing our part. Hey, it's a blonde ale. We can still knock it back pretty easily. We'll see y'all in a moment here. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. We've got new alcohol in front of us. Fancier bottle here.
Yes, it's a tall glass bottle. This is their flagship, their most accredited and acclaimed alcohol that they have. This is the Grand Illumination, a ale aged in a barley wine barrel.
Should be very different.
It should be extremely interesting. We like all the barrel aged beers and ales and stuff like that. They're usually a grand old time, and curious to see like how fancy schmancy they can get. I am expecting a variety of things, but for the most part, I want like the depth of flavor to really feel something. A lot of introspection happening after the first sip.
Bacon.
What the heck?
Whoa, you got bacon out of that? I don't think I got bacon. It has a very kind of like citrusy note when you sniff it. It is different for sure.
It's almost jarring compared to the previous two. Mm-hmm. I had a little shock moment. Not bacon, but I'm not going to trust you if you
as the vegetarian.
As a vegetarian, you haven't had bacon in a minute.
Yeah, I do get a little bit of that citrusy in the beginning. I feel like I go through phases here where I get like a little citrusy, I got the little hoppy, and then I think I'm getting like a little like toffee coffee kind of near the end.
There is something like that near the end. Wow.
Or smokiness, or
the
smokiness is what made me think of bacon.
Why you thought of bacon? Yeah,
that is odd, fascinating. It's truly interesting to drink.
It's a complex beer per se.
Yeah.
I will say it is complex, but it doesn't feel like any of the pieces are at war with each other. It still feels smooth to drink through.
Yeah.
Very different.
That's interesting. Very good.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
One thing is we talked about a little bit as we go through this whole thing is, so what is our plan for this year? Well, we're going to try to continue to do the podcast every other week.
We'll see how that goes.
See how that goes. 'Cause
No promises.
We all have other commitments and other jobs and whatever. But one of the things we are going to try to do is as we go buy this stuff, we get a great opportunity to visit distilleries, wineries, meaderies,
Yeah.
cideries, everything. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take you to a couple of these places with us, add that as like a video only, not as a audio podcast, kind of take some pictures, taste what's there, and kind of rate it. So we'll see how that goes. We haven't tried it yet. We're going to get the right equipment and we're going to give it an attempt and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I would say is for our format of the podcast, and this is totally our fault, I think it's common knowledge at this point to know that many of the big mainstream podcasts will film several episodes in a row.
Yeah.
Like they'll choose a day to film. Like they'll be like, this Tuesday we're going to film 4 episodes or 3 episodes of our podcast. It's a bit impossible.
Some of those episodes, you can barely get through one.
Yeah.
The gin episode when we
Oh my
almost
gosh.
finished that bottle of gin.
I feel like the tequila episode we were feeling it too.
Yeah.
Any of the spirit episodes in general.
Some of those spirits get a little too much.
So, but yeah, I will say it is kind of impossible for us to film back-to-back episodes. So we are truly on a filming schedule,
Yeah.
and sometimes
And it's
life
only
gets,
one episode at a time.
Exactly, and sometimes life gets hectic.
The other thing we're hoping to do is we're actually hoping to go to the auxiliary studio and have guests with us.
That's true. Yeah.
we are. Yeah, we are hoping to have some guests on.
This table is truly only meant for 3 Cresecs.
It's only made for 2.
Especially for all on one side.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we are looking into getting a little more wider space so that we can have more people to imbibe with and drink with and learn from as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to have some guests where we can really like ask them, talk to them, and
learn.
get some new perspectives.
And all of the drinks that we'll be doing with guests will be associated with them or requested by them or zhuzhed up because of them. You know, I'm excited in that regard for a lot of the one that we have planned right now. It's cocktails, exploration. It'll be alcohol that I've never had, but they really like it. So I'm excited.
Should be awesome.
Should be good. All right, and now with that out of the way, let's round out our redeemed characters. So I had Zuko and then Shadow Weaver, and kind of ending it out, we're going to anime. Not unsurprising. All of my characters are animated, but we are going to the world of The Devil is a Part-Timer. And the character Sadao Mao, who is...
I have not heard. I've heard a fairy tale.
Okay.
Yes.
But
You don't know The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Devil's part-time. She-Ra, I know because I flip over it in Netflix.
Right, in Netflix.
Sure.
Yeah.
He-Man.
He-Man, yeah. He-Man and She-Ra. Yeah, I got it.
Yes. Well, I'll give you a quick kind of rundown of The Devil is a Part-Timer. It is a story of the devil and his kind of right-hand man who have conquered their world. They are the evil overlords in kind of like a high fantasy magical era. And they are being pursued by the hero's party, and kind of in an attempt to escape, they open a portal to another world, and they end up in modern day Japan. And in this time period of modern day Japan, Sadao Mao, who is the great Lucifer, the great Satan, has decided that he wants to restart, and he's going to start by working a part-time job at McDonald's.
He doesn't have any power also.
Yes.
They lose their power.
Yeah.
Because magic doesn't naturally form in Japan.
Yep.
Wow.
So they live in a like a I don't know, like 100 by 100 studio.
Yeah.
The two of them.
So it's just a 1R, one room.
Yeah.
It's one room.
It's a one room. It's a really small room. It's like very cheap. The room is like a little run down. They're eating like leftover McDonald's and like week old food that they scrounge at like any sort of like deals or whatever. And so while Sadao Mao goes out to work his part-time job, his right-hand general is basically like a housewife for him, where he's like cooking, he's like finding deals and like doing some of the shopping,
cleaning the heck out
So
of their
is
room.
this isn't it's more of a
No, it is a comedy for
It's
sure.
comedy.
Yeah.
It's super comedy.
But I think the important thing to note is, and like as many good comedies are, the show has a lot of like serious notes and serious beats. For instance, the hero follows them into this modern day Japan. And in her attempt to kind of keep her cover story, she gets a job at a call center. And
she becomes evil.
well, she doesn't become evil, but she is dubious that Sadao Mao doesn't have any intentions of being evil or ruling the world. She comes from a world where he is like the greatest evil of all time, where he has murdered basically everyone that she knows and cares about, that her parents are dead. And so we do get a redemption of Sadao Mao in two ways here. It starts off as I don't have any powers. I guess I'll just work at McDonald's and not be evil. To kind of evolving further than that and being like, I actually think I want to do good. And I think that I, am remorseful for how I acted in the past. And I want to be a better person for this new world. Like, this is truly a second chance given to Lucifer here, or Sadao Mao. And he is trying to make the most of it. And there are several factors that are kind of forcing him to look back at his old life or to potentially walk that line again. So obviously you have the hero who shows up, some of his other generals show up that are like, hey man, why aren't you evil anymore? What are we doing? Or some angels from heaven also show up, and they really put into question who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, because you're like, they're angels, they should be good, right? But then they're like, you need to be evil so that we can be good. And they kind of put into question, are these guys actually that good?
Because they have this like greater good. They're like, civilian casualties don't matter because we're the good guys.
Yeah.
They have this like very like,
And you see it a lot. Absolute power corrupts absolute.
Yeah.
it is this like,
Oh, the ends justify the means.
yeah.
Yeah. And the show, again, we're talking about time. The show evolves even more as it gets deeper. I think there's 3 seasons of it right now.
I've only seen season 1.
And they have a kid in there. It's not really their child. It's like an artifact that takes on the form of a child, but they act like it's a kid. And Sadao Mao...
Is it Mao and Amelia or
Yes.
Mao and
Mao and Amelia. So
Okay.
Mao and the hero, they kind of share custody, and it is very much like the joke is basically like divorced parents, like, hey, I get the kid for this weekend, or like,
Because the good guy wants the artifact and
yeah. But again, both of them are bought into the fact that this is their child, basically.
So does it? I hate to be a spoiler. Does it does he get back to the old world, or
No.
can he get back to the old world?
No. What happens is he learns that he can gain power again in this world.
Oh,
And it is by being evil. The easiest way for him to gain magic is by causing fear in everyday civilians. But every time that he has that opportunity, he instead uses any power that he gets to be super cool and beat up the bad guy of that season, super cool boss fight at the end.
Or correct what has happened.
Yes. Yep. And then kind of like fix buildings, wipe people's minds so that none of it seems like it happened before. And he uses all that power. So even if he wanted to go back, he's decided that he'd rather just right the wrongs that have been done in this world by the people of his world and just keep living his life as a part-time worker at McDonald's. And he gets promoted to manager, and that's like his big arc is that he's a manager now and he can't let his boss down.
that's awesome.
It's a good watch.
Yeah.
I can't vouch for the other seasons, but season 1 it's just a tight 12 that's like really, really solid.
I think that they probably could have ended it at season 1. I don't think
I never
they
expected
needed the other seasons.
It is also the crazy thing. This is one of the shows.
Yes.
It was 11 years before season 2 came out.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is when it got announced, everyone was like, "What?
Yeah,
Who
why?"
asked for this, and why now?"
Yeah.
Well, it must have been the creators like, I've been thinking about doing this.
Well, here's the thing. Most of the time, these are like they're taking a chunk out of the manga or out of the light novel, and they're making that chunk into an anime. And then if you want more, you got to go back to the source material, and that's very common for anime.
Yeah.
And it's becoming weirdly more common for like stretches of like 10 years before you get a season 2.
Yeah, right now.
Like most of the time you're like, yeah, okay, I saw season 1, probably won't be a season 2. I have to be satisfied with the ending that they gave us for season 1, which isn't always great.
And after you've made your piece 8 years ago, then they show up again, and you're like, I've already like passed through all sort of thing. Like I don't yearn for more because I've gone through the hurdles.
I already grieved this.
Yeah.
The show is over.
There's no more of it.
There's no
and now
more.
you're telling me it's more, and I'm not hungry.
Yeah. It's like No Game No Life announcing a movie, and you're like, what?
What are you
Why?
talking about? It's been 6 years.
And then you're like, wow, that movie meant nothing.
Meant
to
truly
me.
nothing because it had no relevance except you got to see Sora and Shiro.
Yeah.
Absurd.
But yeah, so that's The Devil is a Part-Timer.
I love it.
I think the season 1 is definitely worth a watch. The other seasons they're okay. The gag is still funny, but I think season 1 really kind of encapsulates the joke.
The shock
in the best
value
way.
is like
Yes.
is like very solid and gets interesting and more compelling near the end.
And in terms of redemption, you get to see most of his redemption in that season 1, especially at the end there. You just get more of it in seasons 2 and 3, where he is really truly working on becoming a better person. All right, Dad.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick the obvious one.
Okay.
Oh.
This is one we talked about over and over again. So my choice for the redeemed character, and we really, everyone knows this character. It's Darth Vader.
Who's that?
Who?
Whoa, Darth Vader.
So for me, this was when Star Wars came out. I was 10 years old, so I saw all three movies in the movie theater.
Great.
So when in the end, when he says in episode 2, when he goes, "Luke, I am your son. You are my son.
Luke, I'm your son.
Like, you are my son." And it's like that was like the biggest.
No, I am your father. Why are you?
Whatever. So, but what's crazy about that is you have no idea what a big turmoil that was
Yes.
in media and whatever.
Okay.
This is before internet, before all that.
Yeah.
And so in the end, when he dies, and he,
Spoiler.
Whoa!
although I hate that they changed it to put Anakin in as the redeemed character as a ghost. In episode 6, they replaced him with the guy who played Anakin.
Sure. It's a continuity thing, but I get you.
Yeah.
It's a continuity thing. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Anyway, so once again, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. But it took 3 movies to get there.
Here, do you think that his choice redeemed him?
Yeah. Do you think he's been redeemed?
I think I have to assume he is because he ends up being the spirit with Yoda.
So the Force decides that he is redeemed.
Oh.
Right? That's the indicator.
That's the indicator to me because I hate to bring in faith in this, but from Christianity's standpoint, you can be bad your whole life, and if the second before you say, I believe in Jesus, according to the Bible, you can go to heaven.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so that's kind of what he did. Right before he died, he said, okay, I'm sorry for everything I did.
Right.
And then you go, really?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
think about all the people that died, all the people.
Yeah. I also think that when we talk about like 3 movies, you can see the cracks. You can see the change. Darth Vader doesn't have that for the most part. In the last movie, you do see it, right? When and you see a little bit like in hindsight maybe when he's interacting with Leia.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, we talk about this when we're talking about Darth Vader and similar villains. Darth Vader is a force of nature,
Yeah.
right? Like he is human technically for a lot of the things, right? Like he is a powerful force that like the hallway scene. You're like, this isn't happening, right?
my
Like
gosh,
you
yeah.
cannot deal with that.
I will never do that again. You are correct.
Yeah, Darth Vader is. I mean, when you start expanding to anything else about Darth Vader, he is a true monster, grabbing spaceships out of the sky, moving moons with the Force. When he's surrounded by hundreds of men, and they're shouting, "You're surrounded, don't move," and his reply is, "All I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men." You know, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he is such a monster, and in other media, if you're looking at Jedi Survive or Fallen Order,
Yeah.
where he shows up at the end and he is just this unstoppable thing, and as the player, you can't do anything with him, and he's always that thing.
Well, if you look at like as the Disney streaming has gone up, they've done so many like fill-in episodes between him turning into Darth Vader and when the movie 4 starts.
Yeah.
Right. That time between then he is total evil.
Yeah.
You know, he is the darkest of all evils during that time.
Yeah. And I think that's so fascinating when the original movies are like the basis, right?
Yeah.
He's already this absolute monster. And, you know, if you just absorb those, you're like, wow, what a compelling character. That's so interesting, the twists, right?
Well,
but now that so much has flourished and grown around him, you still look at him like such a fascinating character, especially with he was the chosen one and he did not fulfill his destiny.
Not only that, but I think where they started, I don't know whether this is a limitation on George Lucas or not, but it doesn't show how evil he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
But I think one, it might be a limitation from George Lucas, but also I think a part of it is they're letting the audience use a little bit of their imagination.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you think about some of the most iconic scenes, that hallway scene
Yeah.
of Darth Vader walking after like these rebel forces. Oh my God. It's cinematic history. Like
Here's
that.
what you need to know about this guy. He can choke people with his mind, and he's got a laser sword that can cut through anything.
Yeah.
That's your imagination letting run wild.
Yeah.
anyway, so that's my second choice. Gonna
Third.
get
Third.
third choice.
Third choice.
Third choice.
We're getting all those numbers.
No, your turn.
I feel like I'm choosing a classic, a quintessential redeemed that has truly built a foundation of redeemed characters. And I'm going once again to anime. I'm going straight to Dragon Ball Z, and I am picking Prince Vegeta.
Let's go.
The Prince of the Saiyans, and the absolute jerk and beast that now is the best friend with the main character.
You heard Fairy Tail. You didn't know Devil is a part-timer. Are you aware of Dragon Ball?
I've seen parts of Dragon Ball.
Okay.
But it's a name. I do not
Yes.
remember
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
characters.
Yes.
Dragon Ball is like the classic anime.
Yeah,
It's the founding father of a lot of modern day shonen, or
Yep.
not even modern day. It's one of the founding fathers of shonen.
Sure.
Yeah, if you remember our conversation
Yeah.
of Shonen.
Yeah.
But Vegeta, Dragon Ball Z starts off with Goku, our main protagonist, running into his brother who came from outer space, and his brother being like, "You're part of this race of Saiyans, and you're a weapon of war, and you need to kill everyone on Earth and join us, and join me and other members of the Saiyan race to kill more." Goku isn't like them and is like, "Nope, not going to do that." And through arduous battle, his brother dies. He kills him. He has no attachment to him. His brother's dead. But his brother leaves the message, 2 more Saiyans will show up, and they're far stronger than me. And Goku dies from this encounter
Yes.
against his brother.
Which, don't worry.
Deaths don't mean
dies
a
a lot.
Deaths don't mean a lot of things. But eventually, the 2 other Saiyans appear, a guy named Nappa, and then Prince Vegeta himself. And they are bad people.
Yeah.
They kill basically the entire main cast of the original series, and Vegeta himself kills Goku's best friend, Krillin. Before Goku eventually takes down Vegeta, not to the death.
Yeah.
Not to the death.
Not to the death.
Because at the very end, Goku was like, "Don't kill him." To a guy named Yajirobe, who had a katana, and was like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." Anyway, but after that decision, Vegeta is the most arrogant person through that you could imagine. He's like, "I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. The Saiyans are the greatest race in the galaxy. We are made for war." And the whole shtick about Saiyans is every fight, their body evolves and adapts and gets stronger. That's like the whole shtick of Saiyans.
Yep.
Any fight that they are in, they will get stronger from. So they are a constantly evolving race. That's just how they are made. And he is the prince of that. So he has this like hyper arrogance about it. But Goku humbles him because he's just a random guy who's like nice. And it breaks his foundations to such a degree that he has such a journey through a lot of the anime, and eventually proves himself that he isn't like Goku. He's still arrogant. He's still not a great person, but he has crossed this threshold from evil to pursuing the life similar to Goku, in that what you have is good and protecting is better than attacking
Or destroying.
or destroying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, in the same regard of a lot of what we've talked about here, you have hundreds of episodes. Through
great effort. I don't know if I said that enough.
Through great effort. I think the Pulp Fiction was one of the most interesting choices.
Yeah.
Because it was that instantaneous moment.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these others are like subtle, like over time things. Yeah. All right. We're running out of time here. Really quick. What were our favorites? What were our least favorites? Dad, I'm going to kick it off to you.
I think I liked the Grand Illumination the most just because it was the most interesting.
I think you're right. Nick?
I am probably going to choose the first one, the Hellas.
Oh,
as my
okay.
favorite one.
Yeah.
I did like that one.
Yeah.
I did like that one.
Very nice and clean. The rosé was fascinating, and,
Yeah.
and I could see myself eating it with more meals than I would have preferred with other beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think a very fatty or heavy meal,
Yeah.
that's kind of a beer that's light enough to be able to drink with that.
Yeah.
I like the rosé. I thought that was easy drinking, but honestly, I think I'm gonna go with Dad here. The Grand Illumination just was so complex
Yeah.
and interesting. I think it was my favorite. I don't know if I was really blown away by any of these three. Like I don't think
We've got 4 other ones.
I know. Yeah, we got more.
You're going to see more aleworks.
But I typically do like aleworks. I like a lot of the other things that they offer. But I think the Grand Illumination was the best out of this set just because it was complex. It did have some depth here.
Yeah.
So all I gotta say is I hope you enjoyed our first episode back, season 2.
Welcome back.
we
If you're still here, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Truly.
I will also say the normal things.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Comment.
Yeah.
We'd love to see your comments. If there's something you wanted us to talk about, hey, we're willing to talk about.
Or if we
anything.
missed a big, redemption, let us know.
True.
There is a lot, but there's also a lot that we went back and forth on.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussion about who we wanted to talk about.
We had literally today we were all deciding our third character.
It's true, yeah.
We pushed back shooting because we were like, well, hold on, we have two of the three
We
characters.
got to talk about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Once again, this is why we can't do a bunch of them in a row.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons. Not the biggest reason, I will say. All right, well, thank you all so much. We will see you next time.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. Have a great rest of your night, y'all.